Next, we will be talking about the positional measures of central tendency. There are three different types of positional measures: quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. Quartiles actually divide the entire data set into four equal parts. The lower quartile, as we have already discussed, actually has 25% of the data below it and 75% of the data above it. The second quartile has 50% of the data below it and 50% of the data above it, and it is also corresponding to the median. It actually corresponds to the median value, where 50% of the data is above and 50% of the data is below. So it's the middlemost value that we are having. And the upper quartile has 75% of its data below it and 25% of the data above it. Though suppose we have a frequency distribution, a continuous frequency distribution of this sort, where we have five classes, ranging from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. And the corresponding frequencies are 12, 13, 25, 10, and 6. So we have to calculate the value of the lower quartile Q1, the value of second quartile Q2, and the value of upper quartile or third quartile, that is Q3. So let's first find out the value of the lower quartile or the first quartile. Just as we have learned the method which we have used for finding out the median, we are going to go by the similar method. Just in this case here, the we have to actually correspond to the n by 4th item. In median, we actually talked about the n by 2th item. Here we have to talk about the n by 4th item. So 66 is the value of n here. 66 is the value of n, that is the total frequency that we are having. 66 is the value of n that we are having. So if we are dividing 66 by 4, so we will be having the value as 16.5. So the value which we have, n by 4, will actually correspond to 16.5th value. So first and foremost, what we have to find is, we have to first find the first quartile class or the lower quartile class. So for that, we have to find out that particular class which will be having the 16.5th item in it. Now the first 12 items are here in the first class, 30 to 40. 13th to 25th item will be here, right, in the range of 40 to 50. So your 16.5th item will definitely fall here. So it will be here itself. So we have the lower quartile class or the first quartile class, which we have as the class of 40 to 50. Now we have to calculate the value. So it will be L. L is the lower class boundary, right, or the lower class limit of a continuous distribution, right? So we have it as 40 here. H, as we find, it's 50 minus 40, that's equal to 10. The frequency of that particular class, the frequency of that quartile class, that is the first quartile class, here the value is 13. N by 4, n we have got it to be 66 divided by 4, the value is coming to be 16.5, minus the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the quartile class. So the first quartile class which we have here is 40 to 50. The class preceding that is 30 to 40. The cumulative frequency of that class is taken here, right? So we calculate the value. The value that we get here is 43.4615. So we'll take it as 43.462, or we can keep it as 43.46. So 43.46 is the particular value where 25% of the data in the distribution will be lying below it and 75% of the data will be lying above it, right? Now we go ahead to find the second quartile, right? The L definitely will correspond to the lower class limit or a lower class boundary for the particular continuous distribution. If it's a continuous distribution, it is the lower class limit and lower class boundary is the same. But if it's a discontinuous distribution, you have to convert it into a continuous distribution, and then you have to take the lower class boundary. Now we talk about the second quartile. Second quartile, as I was telling you, it is corresponding to your median, right? So where we have to take 2n by 4, so it 2 gets cancels, it's n by 2th. So 66 by 2th, that is 33rd element that we have to search for. So we find that the 33rd element will be coming here in this particular class, right? It will come in this particular class because from the 25th item to the 26th item till the 25th item it will be here. From 26th item to the 50th item it will be here in this class, having the values between 50 to 60. So this will be definitely the Q2 class as well. So this will be your Q2 class. So what is the lower class boundary here, or the lower class limit in this case? It is 50. What is the value of H? The value of H is 10. The frequency of that corresponding class, that's equal to 25. And we got this value to be 33 minus, we get the value to be cumulative frequency of the class preceding that median class or the Q2 class, that's equal to 25, right? Right, so we go ahead to make the calculation. So this comes to be the value of 53.2. So 53.2 is that particular value where 50% of the data is above it and 50% of the data is below it. And this is Q2 is also referred to as the median. It actually corresponds to the median of a distribution, a central tendency. Then the third quartile which we will be talking about is the upper quartile. Upper quartile, here we have to find that particular value which will correspond to 3n by 4th item. 3n by 4th item, where we have n by 4 as 16.5, 3n by 4, that means 49.5th item. So we have to find out the 49.5th item in this case. Here in this case we found out the 16.5th item. Here we have to find out the 33rd item, and here we have to actually find out 3n by 4, that is 49.5th item. So once again, if we go to find out in the cumulative frequency, it is 30 till 12th here, 13 to 25 is here, 26 to 50th item will be here. So 49.5th item will also be here. So your Q3 class definitely will be also this class itself. So the lower class limit and boundary corresponds here. So we have the value to be 50 here. H we have got to be the class width is 10. The frequency for that corresponding class is 25. And 3n by 4, that is n is equal to 66. So we have the value to be 49.5 minus 25. Right? So we have to go in for the calculation. So on calculation, we find that it's equal to 50 and this comes to be 9.8. So it is 59.8. So 59.8 is that particular value of the value of x where 75% of the data will be below it and 25% of the data will be above it. So Q3 is 59.8, Q1 is 43.46 and Q2 is 53.2. So that's how we calculate Q1, Q2 and Q3, the quartile values. Next, we will go ahead to calculate the decile values. While quartiles divide the entire distribution into 4 equal parts, deciles divide the entire distribution into 10 equal parts, right? And if we are talking about the second decile, it is that particular value of x which will be having 2 parts below it and 8 parts above it. So we will be having 2 parts below it and 8 parts above it. That is 20% of the data will be below it and 80% of the data will be above it, right? So this is how we will be going about calculating the deciles. So deciles once again has a similar formula similar to that of what you have found in quartiles. If it is the kth quartile that you are, kth decile that you are looking out for, so it will be the lower class boundary of that particular decile class. H is the class width, F is the frequency of that particular class, K is that kth value that you are taking up. If it's a second decile, K will be 2. If it is sixth decile, it will be taking the value of 6. And so N is the sum total of the frequency and cumulative frequency of that class preceding the specific decile class. Now suppose we are planning to go in for finding out the 7th decile, right? We are planning to find out 7th decile. So for a 7th decile, we will be having the value of K to be 7. Right? So it is the 7th decile that we are searching for. So first and foremost, we have to find out the 7 into 66 by 10. We have to find that particular value. So we have to find out the value of 7n by 10. So that is 7, that is 0.7 into n, we know it is the value of 66, and the corresponding value for which we have to find out is 46.2. So we have to find out where this 46.2th item. So it is the it will be corresponding to that 46.2th item. Now we have to find out what is the, where will this 46.2th item remain in this entire classification, and we have to find out that particular value of that 46.2th item. Now we have the first 12 items here. From the 13th to the 25th item, we will be having between 40 to 50. From the 26th to the 50th item, we will be having here. So when we are searching for 46.2th item, definitely it is going to lie here, right? It is going to lie here. So here we have it as the D7 class. So we have the class D7 here only. So correspondingly, if we have to find out the value of D7, it will be the lower class boundary of that. So it is 50 plus the class width is upper class boundary minus lower class boundary, that's equal to 10. Frequency of that corresponding class, that's equal to 25. To Kn, that is 7n by 10, we have already found the value to be 46.2, and the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the decile class, 7th decile class. So it is the previous class which we are talking about. So the corresponding value that we are actually talking about is this. So let's find out, let's calculate the value and we come with the answer. The value that we get is 58.48. The value that we get is 58.48. Now suppose we are planning to go ahead with another calculation. Suppose we want to find out what is the 9th decile, right? So here correspondingly, what will be the value of K? K will be having the value of 9. So we have to find out the Kn by 10th value. So K into n by 10th value. So that is, we have to find out 9 into 66 by 10th value, right? So let's find out the value of 9 into 66 by 10. The value is 59.4. So we have to find out the 59.4th element, right? Where it is and what is the value for that. So we have to find out the corresponding to the 59.4th element, what is the value of x? So 59.4th element, so till 12th element it is here, till 25th element it will be here, from 26th to 50th element it will be here, and from 51st element to 60th element it will be here. So definitely your 9th decile class will actually come to be here. This will be your 9th decile class. So this is your D9 class which we have. So what will be the value of D9? So D9 will be the lower class boundary of that particular class. So that's equal to 60. Since it is a continuous distribution, class boundary corresponds to the class limit. So 60 plus 10 is the class width, and we have the class frequency to f also here is 10 into this value which we have got, kn by 10 is equal to 59.4 minus the value of the cumulative frequency of the class just preceding that class, and that value is equal to 50. Right? So we have got the value here as 60 plus it will come to be 9.4. So the value is 69.4. So it is the value of 69.4. Okay. So we have found out D7 here, and we have found out D9 here. Now suppose we are trying to find out D2, that is the second decile. We are trying to find out the value of D2, the second decile. How do we find out the D2 value? Now for D2, the corresponding K value will be equal to 2. So the corresponding Kn by 10, that is 2n by 10, will be equal to 6.6 into 2. So it will be coming to 13.2. So we have to find out the 13.2th element. So we have to find out the 13.2th element and where it actually comes and what is the value that it is going to take. So the 13.2th element we are going to search here. So from till up to the first 12 elements will be here in this class. The 13th element onwards till the 25th element onwards will be here. So the second decile, that is the 13.2th element, definitely will be coming here. So this is your second decile class. This is your second decile class that you have. It is the D2 class that you are having. So what will be the corresponding value of D2? L, that is the lower class limit of this. Class limit is equal to class boundary since it's a continuous distribution. So it is 40 plus class width, that is the value of h which we are talking about, that's equal to 10, divided by frequency of that particular class into Kn by 10 value that we have got to be 13.2 minus the cumulative frequency of the class previous to it. So that's equal to 12, right? So let's calculate. So the value is coming to be 40.92. The value is coming to be 40.923. So let's take it as 40.92. So 40.92 will be having 2 parts of the data below it and 8 parts of the data above it. That is 20% of the data will be below it and 80% of the data will be above it, right? Next, let's come to the computation of percentiles. So just like deciles divide the entire distribution into 10 equal parts, we have the percentiles dividing the entire distribution into 100 equal parts. Distribution into 100 equal parts. Okay. So suppose we are talking about the 60th decile. 60th decile will definitely, 60th percentile. We are calculating percentile here. So if we are talking about the 60th percentile, 60% of the data will be below it and below this value, and 40% of the data will be above this value. Only 40% of the data will be above this value. So let's first find out the value of, say, the 60th percentile. The 60th percentile, the corresponding k value will be equal to 60. So we have the kn by 10th value, that is 60 by 100 into 66. That is the value we need to compute. So it is the 39.6th element that we have to search for. So it is the 39.6th element that we need to search for. So we once again take a look at the cumulative frequency table. So till the 12th is here, from 13th to 25th will be here. So if we have to search for the 39.6th element, it will definitely be lying here, where 26th to 50th element is here. So we have the value to lie here. So it's the 60th percentile will be this particular class. So what will be the value of P60? Let's find out what will be the value of P60. It is the lower class limit or the lower class boundary. Since it's a continuous distribution, it is the same. So it is the lower class limit of that particular class. So that's equal to 50 here, plus class width, that is upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. So that's equal to 10, divided by frequency of that particular class. So that's equal to 25. Into kn, that is 6n by 10 in 6n by 100 into that's what we have to find out, that we have already found out to be 60 by 100 into 66, that's equal to 39.6, minus the cumulative frequency of the class preceding it. So that's equal to 25. Okay, so let's do the calculation. So the value that we are getting is 50 plus 5.84. So the value is 55.84. So the P60 value is 55.84. That means that this is a particular value of X, below which 60% of the data will lie and above which 40% of the data will lie. So similarly, you can find the 70th percentile, you can find the 77th percentile, you can find the 83rd percentile, and so on. So just as you find the percentile, the value of k changes and you substitute it in this particular formula and you get the result. Thank you for today.